This is the level 20 MT ARGB. Now, addressable, meaning with the A, and the RGB is your prime colors. Now, with the prime colors and the addressable, it means that it can do things that normal LEDs can't do, meaning that you can go from one LED light to another LED light to another LED light, fade it out or change different colors depending on what colors you choose. And obviously if you go into MSI or Gigabyte or Asus or ASRock, they've got you covered with the software where you can actually change the colors of the addressable RGBs, no problem. Now we've got 3 fans in the front which are 120mm each, and they all have a rotation speed of 1000 RPM, and each one of them is 27.2 decibels, so that's times 3. And then on the back we do have an exhaust fan, and that's also 1000 RPM and 26 decibels as a readout, but also in the size of 120mm by 120mm by 25mm in thickness. Drive bays. So we've got drive bay right here, which is for your SSD, or 2.5 inch mechanical hard drive can go there. And then on the back we've got 2 that are hidden, which is at the bottom there, which have got a 3.5 inch mechanical hard drive, and also got a space for another one down there. Or you could put 2 2.5 mechanical hard drives or 2 SSDs, or you can put just 2 3.5 inch hard drives down the bottom. And on the back there as well, near the retention plate, we've got a 2.5 inch SSD plate or 2.5 inch mechanical plate. On the back of the computer we do have 7 expansion slots. We've got 1 that we're not using, but we've got a graphics card fully utilising 2 slots there, and then we've got 4 spots there as well in case you want to put in an audio card reader or anything like that. So this case can fit motherboards which are mini ITX, micro ATX and also ATX, so no extended ATX there at all. On top of the case we've got 2 USB 3s, and we've also got HD audio, so you've got a headphone jack, microphone jack, RGB button for your addressable, and also a reset button and a hard disk indicator, and your power button, which has got a nice clicky sensation. On the front of the case we do have tempered glass, so this is not acrylic, this is tempered glass, and it's 4mm thick, and also comes with 4mm thick tempered glass for the side panel as well. So we always want to know what the fan support is. So on the front we can fit 3 120mm fans, the top that we can fit also 2 times 120mm fans or 1 times 140mm fan. And on the back we can fit in a rear exhaust which is 120mm as well. So for radiator support we can fit 1 360 at the front, and at the back we can fit a 120 on the back for exhaust. And also on the right hand side of the motherboard, which is here, we can also fit 240mm radiator. CPU cooler height limitations is 170mm. PSU length is 170mm. VGA length is 260 with radiator on the right hand side. So we have a CPU cooler height limitations of 170mm. We also got a PSU limitation of 170mm, and then we also got VGA length limitations from 260mm with a radiator on the right hand side, and 366mm without a radiator on the right hand side. What a beautiful case you can see there with addressable RGBs. Excellent. Right, anyway, let's talk about the computer. I've done this a little bit slightly different than what I normally do, because I normally talk about what I'm doing first and do a build and stuff, but I thought, I'm just going to put it together, then I can obviously explain if it's easy or hard to build in, and is it worth your money to go and buy one. With the price being £80 and it's a mid-tower case, it fits quite a lot in there, especially it can fit in for custom water cooling and AI water cooling, and obviously as you can see, CPU air cooling, no problem whatsoever. With CPU air cooling, it makes it a lot easier to get an EPS or 8-pin connector at the top, and obviously connecting your CPU fan and your system fan connectors without a problem. Now if you're going to stick an AIO at the top, or even a radiator on the side here, it makes it a little bit more difficult, because the AI radiator would come out here, and then that means it will make it a bit difficult to put the 8-pin connector in, which means that you have to obviously assemble the computer and the motherboard a little bit more different than what you would normally do. What I like about this case, it's got a nice cutout here. If you're going to go with an Asus power supply readout, if you're doing overclocking, this would be a nice case to do it with. But the only thing is, its drawback is the intake for air to come through the front. But as you can see, it comes with 4 fans. So we've got 120mm fan at the back for exhaust and 3 120mm addressable RGBs. And also you can put a radiator on the back of here, which means it's pretty good because it's got a nice bit of air cooling that could be sucked out the side. And it's also perforated as well through the side panel, so that obviously exhausts heat from the radiator, which is a very good plan. I like the fact that you can put a 120mm fan and a 120mm fan there as well and change it up and have different cooling procedures. I like the fact that you've got the SSD plate as well, so you can put in your mechanical hard drive, 2.5 inch or normal SSD in there. You've got a decent amount of room for a radiator to go in there, but the radiator on this computer, you can only put in slimmer radiators, and Thermaltake do some really fat radiators. That's not going to be sufficient for this, but it's not for an overkill build. It's just there so you can actually put a radiator in. Anyway, this motherboard is actually 12 volts because I didn't know that, so that's really annoying. But you can still use the switch at the top here, which is obviously an LED button, and you can obviously flash through and do loads of stuff. And what I like about that is that it will give you mode 1 will give you wave mode, flow mode will give you mode 2, RGB lighting is mode 3 single color, radar mode is mode 4 to 10, red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, white and purple. Breathe mode is mode 11 to 18, which is red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, white and purple. Full lighted mode is mode 19, and single colors mode 20 to 26, red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, white and purple. And lights off if you don't like RGBs but you like this case, there's mode 27. With this case, it's got loads of holes to breathe around inside the case. It's just all about dissipating the heat. Now you've got a nice filter at the top here, and it's magnetic, clean it, wipe it, and it's done. And it's the fact that you can put a 140 or a 120 or 240 at the top, and that means that you can dissipate the heat from the MOSFETs and the chokes from at the top there. So all that heat that if you want to do overclocking, it's going to raise at the back. But if you're going to do overclocking again, you've got that radiator. If you're using an all-in-one solution, liquid cooling solution, you can just exhaust the heat out the side there. Anyway, it's got 7 expansion slots on the back, so that's decent. You've got enough room. Obviously, you can see that I've got a graphics card in there. This is the RX 570 in here. So just imagine how big that is. I've already talked about limitations of the CPU, air cooler, PSU cooler, and graphics card. But as you can see, it's pretty massive case for a medium-sized case, and it does really well. I like the fact that it's got tempered glass on the side, which I'm going to get for you. So this door is a little bit more unique. It's got like a little grip so you can put your fingertips to the end and then slide it out. So it goes in like so, and it slides in. And then you've got these captive, is it captive screws? I think it's captive screws you had on the back. I can't remember, it might be these screws. I think it's these screws that you had on the back as well. And basically, they screw to the back, a little bit more different, and you just slide it out and then you've got the glass out. It's got a nice border around the side as well, because it's got plastic over the top to make sure it doesn't smudge or scratch or anything like that on both sides. The tint is about 5%, so it's not too bad. We've got the back of the case, so let's talk about the back of the case. As you can see, I've just done this as an amateur level. So I've got a mechanical hard drive down here with a SATA and power SATA cable that connects straight in, and I've just made it as like an amateur would do it. The only thing I don't like about this is that where all the holes are perforated or honeycombed look-alike, in where the actual PCB board is, you can see it from the front of the case and it looks a bit awkward. I wish it was in a different place. You do get about 1 centimetre and a bit to obviously hide your cables. And there is a SSD plate there as well, or mechanical 2.5 inch hard drive plate. You've got these soft like foamy pads, and you've got a filter at the bottom, kind of like a cheap filter, nothing magnetic, it will go on there. It would be nice though, then you could just stick it under there, but then you have to fiddle around with it with 4 like slots just to slip it in, and nothing else at the front. What I like at the front as well is it's easy to get the fans out. They made it a lot easier, so if I pull the front out, I've got to pull it forward so I don't break anything. As you can see, pulled the front off. There's no cables there, but you have got your tempered glass, and you do have your little filters on the side there as well, and you can pull these out and give them a wipe, a little bit of a clean and stuff like that. But that's all the airflow that you're going to have for the intake, so it depends. These fans run at 1000 RPM speed, and you've got 3 of them sucking in air it's gonna do all right, but it's not gonna do all right to ones that are completely open. But that's the sacrifice you've got to make. And the difference is, if you're going to be using this computer for overclocking and stuff like that, then you obviously need to opt for a different case. And another thing that's going to be a boost for you guys is that you don't have to screw from inside, which makes it very awkward after you've done the build, to take the fans off to put a radiator on. Absolute mission. Thermaltake give you, how many fan, they give you 12 screws, long screws, that you need to be able to put onto the radiator with no problem whatsoever. That is awesome when that comes included. Other than that, you've got like little holes there to obviously pass through your cables and that to make everything look tidy. And that is it about this case. Now, I'll give you my honest opinion about it in 1 second. So on the back there, before I even carry on with this video, I need to show you that there's a filter on there. It's a bit annoying though, they've done a magnetic filter there which is easy to clean, and also there, but the one at the bottom would be for the power supply, which will probably get the most dustiest compared to everything else. Well, it depends anyway where you got it in your house, but that's pretty good. And those are the holes that are going to be obviously leaking out or exhausting hot air from the actual radiator. That's pretty cool. And if you haven't got a radiator, that's another place where the heat's going to be dissipated, or it depends on however you sort the computer out. There's loads of little tricks that you could do with this. It's pretty cool. Little flex to this. So if I just literally close this off. So when you built your nice new computer and it's all set up, then obviously if I did have the right motherboard, I could use the 5 volts and then have these as addressable motherboard sinks. But obviously I don't, so, well I do, but it won't fit in this case because it's too big. But using this motherboard, obviously it's 12 volts out and it's just annoying. But what's not annoying is the fact that I've got RGB controller here. And as you can see, addressable RGBs it is. So I can just choose whatever I want to do just by clicking the button and getting different modes. And as I went through all these modes before, I'm just going to give you a little demonstration really quickly of what you can do with it. Now, if you've got it connected to sync with your motherboard, every RGB addressable would be whatever you want it to be. It'll be all different. It'll be much more than what this is. So the good thing about it is after you've built your nice computer, you can literally start gaming with it and everything like that and have everything connected properly. And I like the fact that you can either have the RGB synced or non-synced. And then, yeah, you're just ready to go. You've got a beautiful system all ready to go. RGBs are ready. Just looks mad. Looks absolutely crystal. But as you can see, no thermal throttling or anything like that, which I'm gonna actually have a look just to see what temperature I'm gonna get. But anyway, as you can see, computer works really well. So now I'm just gonna jump out of this mode and let's check for thermaling. Right, so we're going to use AMD Ryzen Master, and we're going to see what the temperature is with just these 3 fans on the front there. Obviously the CPU air cooler and an exhaust and the power supply, and obviously the graphic cards fans. So we're running at 44 point, well, it's going down a little bit, 44.25. And this is basically, with the whole system as it is, now room temperature in here is like 25 degrees in here. And it does help if it's cooler in the room, then obviously your computer's can run cooler and it can run faster because it can warm up more. But this is only stock at the moment, so you need to really play around with it. And at the moment, it's not very loud. It's kind of audible. It feels like it might be running at 1000 RPM speed already, to be honest with you. But you can slow it down so it's like really quiet, but then you're gonna have the problem of might be overheating or something like that. But other than that, it looks cool. I like this power button as well, where it's got nice illumination to show where the power button is in the night time. Now, if I run Cinebench, if I've got Cinebench on here, which I do, and then we can see what the temperature is gonna run up to. And at the moment, I do only have the stock CPU air cooler, but I'm just seeing how well the 3 fans and the exhaust do at the moment. So let's run that quickly. So we've gone up to 71 degrees at stock. I didn't even tell you what the system is. So this is AMD Ryzen 5 2400G, and this is a Radeon, got Radeon Vega graphics in there, Base clock's at 3.6, there's 4 cores, 8 threads, and it's also got an RX 570 graphics card in there. Thermaltake 700 watt power supply, 16 gigs of Corsair RAM at 12,400 I think speed, because this is a budget build. Anyway, we're at nearly 80 degrees. So what I can say is that these fans do help, but it doesn't help as much as what I would like it to help. But if I change the CP air cooler in there, obviously it'll be a lot more cooler and it'll be great. But the only thing is, I was expecting that these fans would be able to move air, because technically it's got this whole like opened out bit where it can take cool air in and blow straight over the graphics card and over the CPU to keep it cooler. It's done better than the other ones, and at idle it's just dropped down to like 40 something degrees. Now if I was doing a little bit of video editing or gaming, I'll be seeing it topping out about 60-65 degrees. But obviously when you're benchmarking, it utilizes everything and makes it as hot as possible. Hope you liked this video. Hope it was in depth and obviously a little bit more different from what it normally is, because I just find it a little bit boring. I've been listening to all your ideas and everything like that, and I really do appreciate what you've been saying and stuff. So there's going to be more videos of what the actual community wants, because it does make sense. Subscribe, share, like and follow me on all social media platforms, because it does help the channel out. And obviously you don't want to miss another video and everything like that. Hit the notification bell so you can obviously be tinged when I'm actually uploading a video, because I upload different times and stuff, but you don't really want to miss a video. And obviously comment down below whatever you think about this system build or what you would do to change it. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Thanks for watching. Roger and out. Roger and out. Roger and out. Roger and out.